and North Parish Mind. Really sorry that last week's broadcast got cut off. I didn't know because the screen looked fine, so you missed about half of it. So we'll have a look at that today. And let's just get started by taking our shoulder width apart stance, unlocking the knees so that we can feel nice and springy. And let's just shake out the hands. Give them a good shake. And then stretch the fingers. Give them a shake. And let's just rotate the shoulders. So we're bringing the shoulders up, and then back, and then down, and then forward. And we'll go the other way. I'll just turn sideways so you can see what we're up to. So you can probably hear me, I'm breathing in as the shoulders are coming up. Breathing out as we relax them down. Just rotating the shoulder joints. Lovely. And let's have a look at let's move sideways so I don't hit the light. So let's just do a bigger circle. You do it with each arm. Do the two together, like a bit like a windmill. Just letting the body rotate as well, side to side, as we let the arms rotate. And then we can go the other way, like we do front crawl. And just see how big you can make those circles. Just paying attention to how your body feels, so that you move within the limitations of how your body feels. Lovely. And then let's have a look, see if we can shake the feet out. So if we put all the weight in this right side, for you as you mirror me, and then it means that our other foot, this left leg, is quite light, and as we sink into this right side, we can just pick up this other foot and give the ankle a shake so that it shakes the toes, like we're shaking water off our foot maybe, and then put it down empty and then move the weight into it. We feel that this other leg, which was the standing leg, has become light so that we can pick that up, give that one a shake. Put it down empty. Let's try that again. All the time when we're standing on one leg, we're letting all the weight go down through into the floor, we're not holding on to it. We let all the wobbles go down into the floor if there's any wobbling. And we're getting into the habit of when we put a foot down, we put it down empty and then we move the weight in. This is called differentiating between full and empty. So let's just start with some exercises to bring ourselves into our bodies a bit more and to start to fill our chests with air. So let's go for broadening the chest. Allowing yourself to come absolutely fully present into the feeling of breathing in and breathing out, and the feeling of how your body feels as it moves through these postures, so that as you come to the end of that, that's the beginning of the breathing out, is the beginning of the breathing in. And you bring your attention to that. It's not something that we perhaps do during our day much, Be aware of breathing in and being aware of breathing out. And then let's go into number 4, where we sit down, sort of, if I turn sideways. We kind of sit down. The knees, we can still see our toes, so the knees haven't gone too far. And we cross our hands over our knees. As we breathe in, we make the circle. As we breathe out, we relax back down. So we stand up as we breathe in. Look at the ceiling. Breathe out as we relax back down and look at the floor. So just allow yourself to settle into this exercise. Just coming into the feeling of the movement of your body. Just allow yourself to enjoy just being here, with nothing else to do but to follow these movements. Nothing else to think about. No other place to be. Lovely. And then if we move into turning to gaze at the moon, so that we start to work with moving the weight from one side into the other and turning the waist at the same time. So if we breathe into here, big breath, and then breathe out as we turn to gaze at the moon. Breathing in as we come back to the middle, breathing out as we turn to gaze at the moon. You can feel the weight changes from one side into the other. So just concentrating on those two things, feeling the weight move from one side to the other, being aware of your breath. Being there in your mind with your attention at the beginning and the end of each part of the move, so that you're absolutely here, so that as you begin to move, you begin to breathe out. As you begin to come the other way, you begin to breathe in. Lovely. So we began to look last time and the time before at this different foot arrangement, so that instead of being parallel side by side, that we have a forward and backward stance. And Claire put that really nice photo up that showed you some people in that forward and backward stance. So if we just go into that stance now, so if your front right foot is pointing straight towards the front and your back left foot is still shoulder width apart, but the foot, instead of pointing to the front, is pointing into the corner. And if you look down, if you had floorboards, it would be really handy, but the back of the heel of the front foot is on the line with the toes of the back foot. So forwards and backwards, it's not a huge step, because we want to keep this shoulder width apart step, so that now we're stable side to side, and we're also stable back to front. And just like I did then, just adjust how that feels for you, so that it feels stable. So the hips they're not off on the angle, they're absolutely pointing to the front or pointing to the sides, whichever. And let's just bring our weight into the front foot. So we can leave the hands for now. Our knees are bent, we're in the front foot, which means that our weight is pretty much all in the front foot. And then we're just going to move the weight into the back foot, so that the back foot receives the weight. You feel that now? We're sitting in the back foot here. This front foot's pretty empty. And then we're going to move the weight back again. And when it's landed completely here in the front foot, we can come back into the back foot. I'm just going to move so you can see my feet a bit clearer. So in fact, we'll just take that opportunity to swap over, because it's quite hard work on the legs. So the left foot now is pointing towards the front, and the right leg is pointing into the corner. So we've got this gap here. What's really common is when we move our feet is to come like this, and then we're not stable in this direction because we haven't got that space there. So that's just something to look out for. So you've got that gap like you were sitting on one of those space hoppers, or riding a horse maybe. So now let's do the same on this side. So we bring the weight into the front, bring the weight into the back, into the front. The knees are bent so we can feel the weight move. We can feel the pressure in the soles of the feet as the front foot receives all the weight, and now the back foot receives all the weight. And we could just go into an exercise where we're pushing as we're going forwards, and we just let the elbows drop as we come back. So we're pushing as we come forward, and the elbows drop as we come back. So we're breathing out as we come forward, breathing in as we come back, out, in, out. And you're just synchronizing your breathing with the movement of the weights from the front foot into the back foot and back again. And having the elbows pointing downwards or dropped means that the shoulders are relaxed, the hands can float through the air. Lovely. Let's just change that so that, in fact, let's just give our legs a shake, because it's quite hard work on the thighs, because when we come off the lock in the kneecap, we come into the muscle of the thighs, and over time as we practice Tai Chi, these muscles get really strong, so that as we get